A socially motivated poet with a satirical wit and infectious rhythm, George the Poet is the voice of a new generation. Tipped by the Brits, the BBC and MTV as one to watch in 2015, you're going to be hearing a lot about George in the coming months. And we are very excited to have been working closely with him and Island Records to launch his unique and exceptional talent. Last week, we published Search Party, George's deeply autobiographical and thought-provoking first collection, in hardback, audio, and enhanced ebook. This is a passion project for us here at Ebury. We've been hand-selling it to retailers, creating new partnerships, booking him in for all the literary festivals, and we will continue to cross-promote with Ireland in the run-up to the release of George's debut album later this year. Fresh from last night's Brits, and currently in the middle of his first nationwide headline tour, I am delighted to introduce to you the sound of 2015, George the Poet.
I'm a natural born leader with the skills of a poet. You can feel that it's real because you know it. I speak for the people because that's what a poet's born to do. So when you think about it, I owe this all to you. I'm making money for the industry of the things you taught me, and that's never gonna feel right to me unless you rise with me, ride with me, since you brought me to a place where I don't have to write for free. I paint a portrait of ends at these corporate events. And you know me, I'm never scared of cause and offense. But they respect it because they feel like what I'm talking is sense. And trust me, they pay you more than $150. So there must be a way you walk and come with me. Why should I be the only one with the belly? Like I learned all of this sitting in front of the telly. I learned it from you, my family and friends. You give me clarity and sense so I can do my job. That means it's on you who my salary depends. You need to get this album and bang it in the ends. Seriously, there's too much talent in the ends. Certain man who never made it out the strip, they're the same ones who taught me how to spit. They deserve their credit in history. I told you lot already, don't embed it in mystery. Please. So I'll give you the manifesto of my search party. Please read the pages. My policies focus on social enterprise, better education and decent wages. And as long as you wanna be courageous, promise you we're gonna see some changes. Said as long as you wanna be courageous. So if you're in any way interested in the future of the world you've invested in, the destiny of the place you now reside after all the conventional powers died, please consider walking down to our side. We can talk about the widening north and south divide and of course the housing prices, which are now in crisis. We hold discussions on property value and how it rises. And our policies might not always sound the nicest, but you finally found a guy that's down to fight this. I don't believe being unemployed makes you null and void. I won't just lie to you when you become annoyed. I was once a boy who would jump for joy at something as trivial as a bunch of toys, but after a while that stuff just becomes a ploy to help you sidestep the things you might want to avoid. And at this stage in my life, I've come to a point where I want to get anyone and everyone who wants a voice to come and help me make some constructive noise. I care about choice, empowerment, participation. That's now essential for our situation. Because the solution is not some half-assed litigation masquerading as a first-class dissertation that ultimately won't pass the curation stage and therefore won't last the duration. The solution is commitment to the task that we're facing. I accept the challenge, and I'm asking for patience. So I'll give you the manifesto of my search party. Please read the pages. My policies focus on social enterprise, better education and decent wages. And as long as you want to be courageous, I promise you we're gonna see some changes. I said as long as you want to be courageous, I promise you. to see some changes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of you guys for receiving me on this stage. And obviously I'd like to thank Penguin Random House for giving me this opportunity. I'm just going to share with you one of the poems from my, my book, Search Party. I'm very, very nervous. That's why my voice keeps doing this. This is called The Way I Am. You don't resent the sun for shining at noon. It wouldn't be right to assume it's undermining the moon. You don't resent the tide for climbing the land. You understand that it's not undermining the sand. You don't challenge the boundlessness of your mind span. You don't ask a penguin or an ostrich why it can't fly, but time can. Your lungs can understand a breeze that breathes over trees and leaves whenever it decides to pass by the scene. You don't ask the grass why it's green. You don't question how fast life has been. These are the things as natural as the things that make a man, so you can understand why I am the way I am. Now, the reason I wrote this book is because I've seen a lot of stuff that was very loaded. I could describe to you the events, but that would be the story. The story is like the spoken avatar of the actual fact. In telling you the story, first of all, I could only give you what I perceived, what I received of the events of my life. Secondly, I wouldn't be able to communicate what you would have seen if you were there. So I gave you a collection of poems to try and articulate my thought process and why it is so important to me that you guys are here, that you are receiving my words. I can't thank you enough. As writers, we create life. We tell stories which paint pictures. Events then happen around those pictures. Actions, catharsis, discussions. I humbly thank you for contributing to this sanctuary, and I implore you, keep doing what you're doing as long as it comes from the heart. Take care of yourselves.